Hey guys, and welcome back to Dune Awakening. So basically, I've done some stuff off screen. We've moved bases from here to here. I haven't moved everything, and I've sort of not dismantled the old base either because I realized that the game lets you have two bases at a time, or at least for now, two bases at a time. So I've kept everything there. I've moved closer to where the trade post and everything is. I think this is a better spot in general. A bunch of people have the same idea, so if you go out, you see like there's a few bases around, or well, there were last time I logged in. I think a lot of them either the game decided to delete them, or maybe they moved. I see someone there. Is that a base? Looks like a base. Yep, that's pretty bare bones, but And essentially, I built it up on this cliff because I just thought that was a cool idea. Because I haven't moved everything here, had we probably have to collect some resources later, but I have all the basic equipment ready. Um, yeah, I think the plan for today is I don't think I'm gonna waste too much time, collecting resources. I might just do all that off screen. But I'm just gonna follow the missions for today. So what I do want to do, however, is make sure I do have everything. So I have a bunch of research points, but I actually don't know where to put them because if you see, they're all locked behind some journey. So I'm guessing I'm still, in the extended tutorial phase. Hasn't explained to me all the schematics yet. Oh, I was reading schematic. I meant the game hasn't explained to me all the mechanics yet. So a bunch of stuff which I can, is unlocked next is just locked behind stories. The story missions rather. I do have one skill which I could unlock. I don't want blade damage. Is there nothing I can do to increase shooting? Because I tend to play range more. But okay, base is okay, sure. I mean that makes sense, right? It's in general more durability. But yeah, I do want to make sure I have more of the bullets, I guess you want to call them. What does this need? Salvage metal. I think I have some of them. Yeah, so I still have one gripe with this game. It's just that it uh how do you say this? It sort of doesn't pull directly from your base's inventory. Um, so you have to sort of remember to, that find the stuff in the chest and then like get them out. But let's gonna see that. Let's let that finish. What I would have liked is that if you're in your base, it should have been able to just say that okay, you have the stuff in your base, stored somewhere, and you just use it, as opposed to me having to pull it out every single time. Because when you're constructing stuff in the base, it does it. So it is built into the game. It's just not handled for when you're crafting directly from your inventory. I guess I took some damage at some point. Okay, so it wants me to go to the research post. Let's just put a point there so it's easier to find on the compass. Come. Okay. It's daytime, which is unfortunate, so I'm gonna have to be more careful. There's a camp here, which I'm gonna assume has respawned. Oh, it has it. Nice. I just killed this guy, so I'm guessing that's probably why it hasn't respawned. Is that a fuel cell? Yeah, fuel cells are actually pretty important in this game because I haven't seen this happen yet, but from what I can tell, if you leave your base unpowered for too long, the game just automatically starts deleting it. So it's like V-Rising in the sense where you have to have some sort of upkeep to keep your base active. Um, I'm guessing it's a mechanic to sort of prevent people from creating a base and then not join the server ever again for whatever reason, and then other people can't. Okay, that's interesting. But other people can't then join that server as well because all the spots are taken. I'm just gonna investigate this really quick. I'm guessing this involves going to involve combat pretty soon, but no, really, I can just okay, sure. You don't have to be super precise with it, but And from what I can tell, I think the efficiency is just dependent on how good of a tool you're using. I've done like a really bad job in cutting stuff and still get the same amount. So my guess would be that you get better cutters like the schematic we got, which I should get back to the old base at some point. Uh, but yeah, like I'm assuming once we start using that schematic, you get more resources out of it, which would make sense. It's like it's an incentive to keep upgrading and sort of reduces the grind as you progress. One thing I realized when I was moving bases, you do need quite a lot of salvage metal to build machinery and stuff. So I'm just gonna go around. Well, that was something. Was that an explosion? Was that something a player did? One thing I haven't got a chance to investigate is those ships that fly around. Is that what happens when they catch you? Just too many questions, not enough answers. Okay, so I'm gonna have to run across this, aren't I? Which means worms. I'm not sure where that exploded. Let's get to a point where the worms don't bother me. It sounds like it came from somewhere there. Maybe that's part of the story, who knows. Okay, I guess I'm supposed to go up there. I've come to like the climbing mechanic of the game. Mainly because normally if this isn't any other game, you're like, oh, I've reached a cliff. I guess I'm going to have to walk around, find a better way. But in this game, you just get to sort of climb over it, which sort of saves too much. Like, it saves time. Because I feel like a lot of games, like I remember I used to have this problem with Warcraft, where just find the right way can be like super annoying when you're in like the flow of things. So at least this way, I don't think I'm making this climb, am I? I also forgot to drink water before I left the base. Okay. Can we recover that? Sure. What I'm gonna do is I don't know how to plug back. Can I just drink directly from this? Oh, I can. And I know this sort of reduces my max health, but I think it's just the bonus of stamina is worth it. Because when that effect dies out, so for example, if I hold T, it should tell me, yeah, so you see that blood drinker. Once that dies down, my max health will recover. So it's not like I'm losing too much, and I'm not really expecting too much combat this early in the game, anyways. Okay, probably shouldn't. I could go weapon instead of this. Okay. It looks like this is meant to be like a common area of sorts, so I'm not expecting combat here. But you never know. I guess somebody built something here. Yeah, so normally I would have walked across that, but who has the patience for that? Is this the taxi service?
Alas, Offworlder, it seems my fame precedes me even here, at the arse end of the Haga Basin. Your Emperor's lackey, Count Fenring, has put an obscene bounty on my head. And while I'm flattered to be his great boogeyman, the added attention is making life complicated. Take a look around. There's a contract on the board that might interest you. But be careful. Civilized men are not to be trusted.
I think at some point I must have turned off subtitles. Okay. I'm not sure when that happened. He wants me to go to the contract board, which I'm not sure what that is.
Look at the way you stand. No discipline, no confidence. I've killed 1,000 like you on the battlefield. Well, a little respect with some good sense in the proportion. There's something here I can work with.
Yeah, if I've learned anything from the...
Salvation is at hand. I can show you how to fight. I can teach you how to kill. And it will only cost you a little pain.
Yeah, I was about to say that if I've learned anything from the books and the movies is that on Arrakis especially, you're expected to show like a level of respect if you want to get anywhere. My guess would be that the game sort of expects you to do something similar, or you just upset some of these NPCs. I'm not sure how relationships are valuable going forward, but I don't want to start off the game in a way where the first NPCs I meet don't like me. Let's see, what
Not
can you
much
tell me
to
of the area?
tell. This is scavenger country. The lowest of the low. Honestly, I think there are some city mauler that live better.
City mall are basically servants.
I don't know. Scavenge? Is that a word? I think they mostly hide from the key rub.
Here, I guess
Bandit
that's the.
scum.
Okay.
Thieves who prey on their own kind. I suppose it's easier to rob and kill your fellow scrap digger than put in a hard day's work. Just up country from here. The Vermilius Gap is Kirab territory. You'll know you've gone too far when the sand turns blood red.
Okay.
I am Gavori, veteran trooper, freelance adventurer, and slayer of cheap vintages everywhere. And I'll train you to be just like me, for the right price. Which just happens to be whatever's in your pocket right now.
I mean, I'm not sure if this is a good question to ask, because looking at him, he's probably not so in that importance, right?
As I said before, I'm currently freelance. Great house feuds don't interest me. I get paid to fight, and not to die.
Okay, fair enough. Do we care? I guess you might
These
as well.
days I tend to shy away from conflict of an intergalactic nature. But if you need to stab or shoot someone in the near vicinity, I'm your man. Then listen closely. During the Battle of Arrakis, I was drugged and kept out of it by a group of conspirators. For the sake of my honor, I've spent the last 8 years tracking down and destroying them, one by one. Who knows how the Battle of Arrakis would have turned out if I hadn't been kept away. And now, I have reason to believe the conspirators are nearby. Track them down, kill them. My thirst for vengeance has been slaked by 1,000 flasks of cheap beer, but it is still my price for training.
Unlocks trooper skill tree. So this gives me a new skill tree, I guess, and that's probably going to be more related to either close combat or trooper. I guess that sounds like something with a gun, right? I mean, that's a lot of gold. And decent XP, yeah, I'd accept.
Do this for me, and I'll set your feet on the path of the trooper.
So I guess you interact with NPCs, and like, through their quests, you get access to more classes and skill sets, which is pretty useful, I guess. Contracts board. Centaur is head. Oh, that's 1,000,000. I'm guessing that's late game stuff, right? 40 copper ore. I think I just have that on me right now. This chamber is more. Oh, it's like this gives you tools as well. So, I guess scrap metal is a chain, and then this is this particular mission in that chain, and then you just keep unlocking more and more missions. Sure. Let's deliver items. Oh, I only have 7. Okay. Let's go collect some more. It's a good thing it's nighttime, and I saw a copper ore node not too far from here, so let's just go there. Yeah, there it is. I do enjoy this game though. I feel like I don't know what I was expecting from like an MMO set in this universe, but I do like the idea of just being this grunt that has to run around, do stuff. Obviously, I'm not sure how the story's gonna end. Like I said, I'm avoiding all sort of content related to this game. I'm guessing you become a bigger part of the picture eventually. And the opening cutscene has the thing saying that, oh, this mission leads to you and all that. So I'm guessing you do play a bigger role in the story eventually. But I do like the idea of you're just one of the guys surviving on this planet, as opposed to just being like this leader or something. Let's split with I guess I could have just typed it in, but sure. Contact, sure. Finally, I've waited weeks for the damn couple. Sam or 20. I don't know if you guys want me to read this out loud, maybe I will, but I think it's better if you just read it. Okay. From the merchant. Is this the merchant?
Hey, stop. I know the face of every sand-sucking bandit, scavenger, and merc from here to Harko, and I don't recognize you. So perhaps you'll give us the courtesy of who you are? And while you're at it, why our airspace is crawling with Sadukar?
If I tell him who I am, will he just turn me in? In an actual universe of the movie and the book, he wouldn't. But since we're living in an alternate one where there's a bunch of bandits around, you know what? Sure, let's be honest.
It's a good story, I'll give you that. But even a sandworm might choke on it. Nobody escapes a Sadukar security grid. Not even Zantara. Welcome to Griffin's Reach, stranger. The rules here are simple. Pay up front and don't cause trouble, or we'll toss you into the storms. Good?
All right.
Name's Mir. I do the trading and the talking. My silent partner here does the fighting. And there's a contract board in the corner if you need work.
Do we need to ask him questions? I don't care about him. I mean, I should just
Unless someone
exhaust
shows
all
up with a
options, I
load of
guess.
salvage, I've got time to talk. There's one of those old desert testing stations out east of here. Been unsealed for a while. Probably picked clean by now. There was a fellow, bought supplies a while back. An ecologist. He was here to audit the station. Said he was camped above it. He'd know more. Settlement? Ha! People don't live out here. They cling. Bandits, scavengers, and a couple of fools stupid enough to run trade posts.
Isn't he talking about himself? Sure.
Sure. Smiley Tig still runs his place northeast of here, across the gap. You'll figure it out if you meet him.
I'm gonna guess it's some sort of Joker situation, as there's there's a smile been carved into his face. We don't really care about
What's
that.
on your mind?
Let's talk
The
about it.
Padishah Emperor, in his infinite wisdom, has blessed us with a cohort of his most efficient and ruthless Imperial Sadukar.
Okay.
They use Chom mercs for the hunting mostly. I suspect the real Sadukar are looking for Fremen and that bastard Zantara. Have you been living under a rock? Zantara is a terrorist scum of the highest order. The Emperor has placed 1,000,000 Solari bounty on his head.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't think so. But if he did, the Sadakar would garrote him. In the meantime, the Kirab suffice as target practice. Scavengers is too good a name for them. Everyone does what they can to scrape by. Scavies do it by mindlessly killing everyone and each other. They are no more. Exterminated by the Sadakar, and rightfully so. Only the terrorist Zantara persists. But I'm confident, not for much longer. This region was once crawling with their filthy kind, but not anymore. If one walked through the door right now, I would shoot him in the face.
Wow. Okay. It's a lot of hate.
Have you been living under a rock?
Okay, you know what? What I do want to know
You keep
is...
coming back like this, I'll have to stop calling you stranger. Stranger?
Okay, so... Okay, so I guess, do I have that much gold? I guess I do. Wait, this is a schematic, right? Why would I need to buy more than one? I guess if you were playing multiplayer, maybe? Okay. So they shot when there's a worm. That's fairly annoying because I kind of want to leave. Sure. I think you reach the Accusation.
You're
Sure.
going to find, Offworlder, that Arrakis is a planet of unique opportunity. No former prisoner would ever have access to the military technology of the Great Houses. But with the war, chaos reigns. Ships crash and are shot down, sometimes spilling military-grade materials onto the sands. The Fremen know the ways of the desert and how to do a lot with very little. The Imperium, on the other hand, have infinite resources and the production capacity of countless worlds. Plunder them, Offworlder. There is a shipwreck near here. Slip inside and claim your share of the spoils.
Zone change. I guess that's, that's from a PvP area to a PvE and stuff like that. Maybe like a single player only zone and multiplayer only zones, some stuff like that. This is a mistake, isn't it? Okay. Yep, this is a mistake. Nope. Oh shit, that probably kills me. Okay. There is a storm. Oh, was that a worm? I guess it's a worm. Okay. So, I noticed that to make that bottle, I basically had to get some of those, what was it, micro sandwich fabric or whatever it's called. The stuff you get into these caves, right, basically. Um, I also got something called Intel points, which I wasn't sure what that meant. But, okay, I think this is just a good idea right now. Unlock upgrade at the advanced sword master trainer. Okay. Okay, so I guess I can get these once and then not again. Yeah, let's just take that now. Again, it's hard to. Oh, I guess I get like a bunch of weapons. Is there anything I can unlock without relying on the story? Because everything says locked, so I'm not really sure. Anyways, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and get to one of these caves, and then sort of. Basically, I want to have the bottle so I can drink water. I want to have more water in general. I do have the suits water reserves, which is not too bad. But anyways, I think this is a good. Okay, many contracts will require a report in the contribution. Sure. I think this is a good stopping point for. Oh my god. So the automatically activate backpack locker. So you can go to the contract money from the journey tab. Okay, it really wants me to go to the journey tab. Okay. Massive structures. Sure. Anything else? Nope. Okay. You know what? Since it wants me to, I might as well just check. Matthias, wide older. Okay, that's interesting. So are these like? interesting. So I guess these are like some paths I can follow on my own without relying on them. Trooper basics. I need to go here and kill somebody. This I need to find some, place. And this is probably like a. All right, nice. Anyways, what I was gonna say is I think this is a good stopping point for this video at least. What we'll do is I will go to that cave, gather a bunch of resources, get set up in the base properly, and then we can resume. Let me just talk about this outside of the sun. And then in the next video, we can sort of just follow along into this shipwreck. Alright, for everybody who's watching, thank you so much. I'm hoping you enjoy this content. And if you do, please, like, subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. But I'll leave it up to you. If you like it, but if you don't want to just actually, press the like button, that's okay. It's more important to me that you actually like the content and, you physically like the button. Anyways, thank you so much, guys.